Welcome
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Be Yourself podcast. And introduce Miss Q
to
Hello,
evening,
good
Miss
night.
Q. How are you?
and Ebony
Good.
Queen and me
Hey,
Hook.
yep, you got the hook. That's the
Um,
hook right there.
and the topic for the night is we talking about relationship 101. Anything that got to do with a relationship. So I'll let you take the flow, Miss Q. What you think about what you got to talk about in the relationship?
Relationships, they're very hard to find these days. Good ones,
Hmm.
honest ones that don't lead you down the rabbit hole,
Right,
especially the ones that don't lead you to truth after you done fell deep in the pothole. Now it's hard for you to climb out.
right,
It's very hard to find good relationships these days.
especially the ones that right.
I
So
got
Miss Q in a relationship for experience. What you think was like the worst experience you had dealing with a relationship?
My worst experience in a relationship
Hmm.
um, was having someone trying to kill me or hurt me over that person,
Right.
spiritually and physically. I think
wow.
that's the worst one that I've ever been in. Everything else I think I've
Right.
handled pretty well. But when you have a third party involved, whether you're the third party or that person is a third party,
Hmm.
and
Right.
they want to physically attack you or
Hmm.
try to kill you over that person,
Right.
that above and beyond.
Right.
And that's in any relationship, whether it's male and female, female and female, male and male. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
think that someone should try to, especially like I said, spiritually, attack
Hmm.
you over this person.
Right.
He or she is a human being just like we all are. We all make
Right.
mistakes. We all, you know, you fall in love. You can't help but fall in love with what the person presents to you.
Right.
Unknowingly, there's a third party. But then when the
Right.
third party finds out about you, they deliberately, spiritually, physically attack you.
Hmm.
And I
Right.
think that's the worst thing that I've been in.
Hmm.
I've had domestic violence before and things like that, but I was able to handle that and maneuver and get myself out of it. But the
Hmm.
spiritual attack is unreal. It's
Hmm.
unreal.
Right.
What you came out of it? I mean, it's so strong.
Well, I had to work myself through it and work some things out. But knowledge is key. Once you find out, you have to prepare yourself and protect yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. You just can't find out and just keep going in blindly. You have to do stuff to protect yourself and prepare yourself for what's happening.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Like in my case, like I done had situations. I done had little situations in my life. Like you may get with a certain person. They presented themselves as this person, but when it's
Mm,
long down the line, they not who they say they is. You know what I mean? and you could tell them like, I accept you for who you is. You don't have to be something that you ain't.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then you accept them as that, and then along the line they doing all type of like foul things, and things that ain't called for. You know what I mean? That you tell them like, keep it real. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, if that's you want to be in a relationship or you don't want a relationship, you know, all you gotta do is just say it. Don't be trying to hide it, and you want to drag a person along with you, and that ain't really what you want to do.
Hmm.
Right. Be honest with your own feelings about things.
Yeah, you know what I
That's
mean?
really all,
Yeah,
it's really all about it.
right. And and they don't be honest about stuff. You know what I mean? That you don't caught that person in all type of lies and stuff like that over and over, and it's like you just don't know what else to do.
Wow.
That's the hurtful part about it.
Yes.
Not
Hmm.
being honest. Had you
Right,
told me what was really going on, I could have helped myself and made my own decision on whether
right,
I want to stay, go, try to help, how I'm going to do this. But when
right,
people lie to you, and like you said, they don't present themselves as who they are, they're
Mhm.
forcing
right,
you to fall in
right,
love with that person. And that
right,
Yeah.
person is not even real,
right,
not even real, not available, not only available for the romantic relationship, but they're not available emotionally. They're not available physically at times when you want to be available. So this
right,
whole persona of them has become a character, for the lack of
right,
a better word, a character that you done fell for, and that's not even real. Had you just told me the story,
right,
I could have
That's
fend for
like
myself.
right.
that's like real life catfishing.
Mm,
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, you see the person physically, you're touching them, you're holding them, the whole nine. But up in here, they're a whole other person.
mm,
Right, right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Been
Well,
there.
I would have to say I've had bad experiences. I've had two major bad experiences in one of my marriage and one when I was dating somebody. Honestly, I think the one I was dating somebody is probably the worst out of the two. Um, so before I met my ex-husband,
Hmm.
I was dating somebody years prior. He wound up going to prison, and we kind of went our separate ways after I got married. So we both wound up divorced, and so we decided we were going to try and make a second go round of it.
Hmm.
So we lived together, and everything was cool. I mean, for me, this was like the one person that I would have married. I tell everybody, it's like there's only one person on the face of this planet that if something were ever to happen to me and my ex-husband, that's what I was telling him. There's one person that I would absolutely marry, and I wouldn't even have a second thought about it.
Right.
So we were together for a year and a half, and I caught him doing something stupid, and I had a meltdown, to say the least, because I was head over heels, over ass, over butt, over tits, in love with this guy. Okay, so, um, and so I was upset. I was so mad. I slept in our spare bedroom.
Hmm.
Um, and when I woke up the next morning, he was gone. He took everything that was his and stuffed it in the only car that we were using at the time, and he came back here.
Hmm.
Now, keep in mind, all the time that we had been talking on the phone and having a long distance relationship, because remember, I was in Jacksonville and he was down here in Miami.
Hmm.
Um, we always talked about, conflict resolution, you
Right.
know, the proper way to resolve a conflict in a relationship. And the thing about it is that even, with me, I was so, um, I was still kind of hurt from my marriage. I'm not going to lie. But what I was doing was I kept checking in on him, like, "Hey, are you sure you're okay here? I just want to make sure that you're happy. Just making sure that he is where he wanted to be. You
Right.
know, so
Right.
it wasn't like I was ignoring the signs or anything. I just wanted to make sure that, hey, I know you came up here kind of suddenly, and you want to come up here and help me, and I understand that. I just want to make sure that you're okay with being here.
Right.
And for him to leave the way he did, without a note, without an apology, without a warning, without anything,
Right.
it took me. It only took me like a half a day to find him, to figure out where he was, and I was there. I was here in 2 days, and I
Right.
confronted him. But it was easier for me to forgive him for doing that because I kind of know the background behind why it happened. But I also know that, my two kids, because my kids were with me at the time, they got to know him, got to adore him and everything. And so he hurt them too. And
Right.
so, that was probably the worst thing that happened to me because I never have anybody abandon me like that.
Right.
And it was, and like I said, it wasn't like I ignored him.
Right.
Tried to make sure that he was comfortable here. Um, I think I saw some of the signs, like I would make suggestions about things that he could do with my kids, and he just
Right.
wouldn't do them. Just
Hmm.
things to get to know them and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, that was the worst thing because I was recovering from. I wound up having a second surgery
Hmm.
in the middle of all of that. So I was recovering from surgery, and I was just I was swimming at the core of the earth, as I like to say.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's the worst thing that happened to me.
Right.
So you're trying to get a little,
That was
get some things
Stranger
going on
Things.
here.
Rearrange. Yeah. So out of all of that, how you feel at the end?
Well, the interesting thing about it is I know where I went wrong. Okay. And it wasn't even something I did wrong per se.
Right.
It was just the way I came about it. Honestly, think if I just slept in the bed that night, it would have never happened. But at the same time, you know how they always say that sometimes when something is taken from you, it makes room for something else.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how I looked at it. It's like, okay, we were reunited after 28 years, and apparently the cumulative 3 years that we were together through
Right.
all this wasn't enough for us to be together.
Right.
And so, yeah, God just said, nah, we need to put him over here somewhere. And funny thing, now he lives up in Inverness, which is
Hmm.
about 4.5 hours from here. So he's gone even further away from me,
Right.
which I think is hilarious because he lived down here. I live in Jacksonville. Then I
Right.
moved down here, and then he moved he moved up there. So something is definitely keeping us apart.
Right. Right. Hmm.
So yeah, and I learned like the one thing that I did learn though, and that's what I was telling her about being honest with your own emotions because truthfully, if I paid a little closer attention to how I felt about things, I
Hmm.
would have known it was coming.
Hmm.
I would have felt it was coming. But I was paying more attention to his, finding out what was going on with him. And then
Right.
come to find out he wasn't even being entirely truthful to me either.
Right.
So you got to be honest with your own feelings. It's going to hurt like hell,
Right.
but you do come out like my dragon tattoo. I have a dragon
So
tattoo on my back.
so and like you ever been in a relationship when you feel like, okay, I'm gonna put it like this: when you spiritually, right, the person's spirit will tell you what that person is doing.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
That the spirit will, like, okay, that person comes in your present, the spirit will automatically tell you what they spirit will automatically tell you what's going on.
Yeah, see,
But
and
you
it's
have to be able to know how to read that. You understand what I'm saying?
there's a lot of people that don't. Well, it's not that they don't know how to read it. It's just that they a lot of people just ignore it. I mean, seriously,
Mhm.
I mean, they go and they look at him and go, "Oh, he's so cute," but he's got that gangster thing. I'm really not big of a gangster thing, but cool. Wow, he is fine. Oh, let me go over here and talk to him. Yeah, that happens. People can see the red flags, they can feel the red flags, but a lot of them just ignore it.
Hmm. That's everybody. When you love somebody, um, we that all that's out the door. We don't see nothing but that person at that
Hmm.
moment if that's in front of us. You
Let's
understand
say
what I'm saying?
love is blind, deaf, and dumb.
And
What we
then
try to do, we
after a while,
try to fix those red flags. We try to turn those red flags
right,
into white flags. And you say, oh, it's not that bad. If we get together, we can work things out. I can help him or her on this, that, and the other. I can help change the person. And sometimes you can't help everybody. You can't help
Yeah,
everybody,
right,
especially
right,
when they know that they're that way and they know that they're consciously doing wrong. There's no way you or anybody else can help them. That
right.
the man above is the only one that's going to help them because we're all in human form. There's nothing we can do. That's how they're made. That's how they are. You know what I'm saying? But you're absolutely right. There's always some type of spirit or some type of. Some people get vibrations, auras. They can see things and like, what, this person ain't right. But you're like, I've been out on a couple of dates with him, or I done did this already. I really like the vibe. Like you said, we just ignore it.
we just ignore it.
You
I mean,
ignore it
we
because at that point, the good outweighing the bad.
Right,
At that particular point, the good is outweighing
right,
the bad, and you'd be like, okay, well, I can point out a couple of things, but you know what? Those are workable. When you're already falling for that person, those things are
right,
workable. We can work those things
right.
out, and you really can't. You just
Yeah,
can't. And I know that from experience. You just can't.
right.
I remember when I was married, and we would have like an argument or a really heated discussion, and we're laying there in bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and my brain is going, okay, this is what happened today. Is this something that is going to break up? Is this worth getting a divorce over? Is this worth leaving
Hmm.
over? I used to reevaluate that all the time. It's like, oh no, because we could do this, that, and the other, and we work it out, and we never did. I mean, we had issues in our relationship that we never really worked out because he could never acknowledge that there was a problem. So I let it slide for 24 years.
Right.
If I'd have been
But you,
honest with my own if I'd have been honest with my own feelings about our relationship, we'd have got divorced in 2001 instead of 2017.
Oh
right.
wow.
Yeah, so I was
But let,
31.
but let me ask you a question, right? When when you know somebody doing some shit they ain't got no business doing, right? And you constantly when you trying to talk to them about the shit, right? They study keep lying, right? But your spirit is like fighting you and like telling you this is what's going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, going, hey, why the hell are you even asking questions you already know the answer to?
And your spirit saying this is what's going on. What is you going to do about it? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
sometimes you
when,
can, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
but that's when it comes in. You have to understand what you're dealing with. A
Right,
lot of the times, these are narcissistic people.
right,
Hmm.
They are in their own world. They're dragging you into their world.
right,
They're not going to come into your world. They want you to come
right,
into their world. So it
right,
doesn't matter what you think they're doing right or wrong. In their world, they're always right.
right,
They're not gonna admit to wrongdoing. They may say I'm sorry here and there, but they're never gonna admit, yes, I was wrong for doing this. You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? I understand if you want to break up with me, that's fine. Narcissistic people do not do that. They think that they're oblivious to what's going on. They are
hmm,
the ones that are, listen, no matter what I do, I'm gonna be right. You know,
Mhm.
you can catch them dead to wrong, but they always got some type of explanation or excuse as to why they're doing what they're doing. Whether they should be
And
Mm-hmm.
it's
doing it
usually
or, like you said, had no business doing it at all.
tit for tat. I did that because you did this,
Hmm.
and so now you feel bad because you made them do that. And a lot of
And
people
like
don't
you said, your
understand
spirit
that's
leads you
how it
to it.
works.
Your spirit will tell you, hey,
Yeah.
Right.
listen, this is what's going on. Like I said, I learned to clean myself and protect myself. And since I've been doing that, the relationship that I was in, I've been learning a lot. That, unfortunately, I did fall for him as much as he fell for me. But the
Mm-hmm.
situation is, he's a narcissist. He's a
Mm-hmm.
narcissist. And I believe that what we're going through is payback for me hurting him in some way. So he's going to keep me on this ride he got for as long as he can and treat me the way that he can because he's hurt. I hurt him. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what lies he told or what he did and didn't say and what he didn't tell me about, I'm the
Right.
one that hurt him. So
Right.
they play the victim a lot,
Right.
Oh,
you
Now that,
know.
absolutely. They're the
right.
martyrs. They're the martyrs of a relationship.
Right.
So,
Oh my God.
even though,
But
you can catch them dead to right, listen, you had no business. I caught you with this woman or I caught you with this man. My eyes, I physically touched you standing next to this woman in a restaurant on a date or whatever. Their
right.
excuse is, well, are you following me?
Right.
Are you
Oh, now you're
checking up
stalking.
on me?
Oh, now you're stalking me.
Right. Right.
I'm just America. I'm free to go wherever I want to. We're not married.
Right.
You know,
Right.
everything now is your fault. You
Right.
could be living
Yeah.
with this person, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're
You're
not living together, you're in a serious relationship, and
Right.
it doesn't matter. It's your fault.
you're
Right.
you're not with that guy anymore, are you?
Me, every now and then
Yeah.
we talk. Like I said, I'm learning to get away from him. You notice, Alex, I didn't even bring him up today earlier when I talked to you because
Yeah.
now I'm seeing a lot of signs and symptoms that I personally ignored, even though
Right.
what was done to me by the third party. But now doing some meditation, my spirits and coming to me and dreaming. Now I see what they were telling me, and it's like, you know what? Even if you do end up being with this person for the long run, these are the things you're going to have to deal with. Now, do you want to deal with them or not? That's up to you. We're showing you, we're giving you a second chance. We're
Right.
showing you what's really going on. Can he change? He may change. He may not change. He may change the minute you stop talking to him. But
Right.
narcissists feel like like they're God's gift to this earth. Like nobody can live without me. You can't live without
Mm-hmm.
me,
Mm-hmm.
and they display
Right.
you when they're ready to, and they put you away when they're ready to.
Right.
So it's like, I'm just learning a lot of things that I should have paid attention to, but when you're in love and you find that person,
Yeah.
love is blinding. It's
Right.
very blinding.
Right.
But one of the things I did learn in well, actually, it was two things I learned about being with a narcissist for 24 years. One of them is there is absolutely nothing you can do to make them happy.
Mm.
There's nothing you can do to make anybody happy because being happy is actually a choice. You're presented with a situation and you have a myriad of emotions that you could be feeling. But the two
Right.
biggest ones are you either happy or you're not. And
Mm.
that's your choice to make. And that was, there was a real good friend of ours that actually told me that it is his choice to be happy or unhappy with you. But there's nothing you can do to change that. There's nothing
Right.
you can do physically. There's nothing you can say. Nothing, because if the choice is his, it's not
Right.
you making him happy. It's him deciding if he's going to be happy about whatever you're doing. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay, wow, it was deep. The second thing I learned, and that was just basically, you were right as far as like they always center themselves.
Right.
They try to always center themselves. When she was saying that they're in their own little world, and in their world they're always right.
Right.
Yep, they always center themselves. And so one of the things I did learn, I realized
Right.
when we were dating, I had clue number one, the first freaking clue. And of course, I was 23 years old, so I had no idea. Okay.
Right.
But when we were dating, he would stand up and he's like, I'm looking for somebody that's going to fit into my world.
Right.
And I was like, well, sweetheart, I can fit in your world. I was 23. I did not realize that he meant that literally.
Right.
Like I had to fit within his world. The only problem is I hadn't grown up enough to fit in his world.
Right.
When I was 23, he was 33. So he was looking for somebody to fit in his world, and I fit in there for a little while until I got older and mature and trying to figure out, like, hey, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be treating me like this, So, yeah, that was just like, be mindful of those red flags, as you would say. So, and people will only treat you the way you let them treat you.
Right. And and some people do that when they know you're going to keep accepting them back and back. But at the same time, they know they be wrong for a lot of things that they do, but they'll choose to still. They'll go and be with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they'll still come back and sit in your face like nothing happened.
Right. You sound like you have a lot of experience with that. Huh? Is it story time? Is it story time? Is it story time?
I'm just telling it like it is. Keep it real.
Right.
You keep it real.
Oh yeah, just as a reminder, y'all, be yourself. Keep it real podcast right here. So we did was it there? It's not a whole lot.
That's another thing about dating a narcissist. You can't be yourself because you're too busy trying to please them. And because they brought you into their world, like you said, he said, I want someone to fit in my world. So now you can't be yourself because you've agreed to fit in his world.
Exactly.
So now you got to be somebody totally different, somebody who you either, you just said, okay, well, he said he wants A, B, and C, so I'm going to be that person. And it has nothing to do with you in real life. So now you're in his world being what he wants and nothing of what you want.
Right.
Or not even your real self. You're doing it to try to appease them.
Right.
Yeah.
I caught myself doing a lot of that. A lot of it. A lot of it.
The interesting thing about coming out of a relationship with a narcissist, that there's some people that really would not understand. But we are actually, if you've been with a narcissist for a long time, and then you go to somebody who hasn't, there are things that we have done being in the relationship with the narcissist.
By the way, I've been called that a whole lot of times, but I know I ain't that. See, a person that can try to manipulate their way out of everything all the time, them the ones that's the narcissist, whatever that that what you're saying, right? But they'll keep calling you that, but because that's what they is.
Okay.
You understand? I've been called that all the time, but I don't care. I don't let that bother me because I know I ain't.
Can I finish what I was saying now?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I
just like the way you just kind of slid that right on in. I'm not a narcissist. Dude, we know you're not a narcissist, sweetheart.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
But the thing is that when you finally get to somebody who is not a narcissist, there are certain habits and certain things that we have done while we were in the relationship with the narcissist that kind of carries over.
Right.
Like, for example, when you say like you have 500 different ways of saying something because you don't know which one is going to set them off. Or they ask you a question,
right,
and you over explain everything just so they don't get mad. And they'll look at you like, why are you giving me all this? I just asked a question, But those are the triggers that we have because we've been with narcissists so long that now we're dealing with everybody the same way.
Right.
And it takes a lot to come out of that. A lot.
Right.
That over explaining thing, that was me.
Right.
Mhm.
That was me. So yeah, it actually, in a weird sort of way, it actually helped out because my son is autistic,
Hmm.
and so sometimes I have to say things two or three different ways for him to understand what I'm asking of
Right.
him.
Mhm.
So I guess you could say it was kind of beneficial to be with a narcissist in that respect. I learned a new skill. Yeah, yeah, I like five. Explain like I'm five.
Right.
Mhm.
Is
Right.
there anybody in our audience out there that's been with a narcissist? Talk
It's
to
just
us. We want to hear.
a
We want
lot
to
of
hear from
people. A
y'all.
lot of a lot of people gonna say they done been with a person like that, but in reality, a lot of people that try to call the other person that be the one, that's the one that is that. You
Oh,
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I
They,
was
you
called
know,
all kinds of
they try
narcissists.
to put it. They try to put it on the other person. Cause see, some people think that when your spirit talk to you and tell you things, you crazy. You don't know
Oh,
what you're talking
oh,
about. That's a lie.
you mean
But
like
then when you tell a person the truth, your spirit telling you this now, and whatever your spirit telling you, your spirit know what's going on before you know.
mm-hmm.
You understand? So that's the truth. So I'm not gonna go against my spirit and call my spirit a liar because I know what my spirit telling me is true.
Mhm.
That's pretty
You
much
understand
right.
what I'm saying? My spirit gonna lead me down the right road, not the wrong road.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? And then and when you tell them the truth, they get mad about it.
Or
That's
say,
not true.
or say that's not how I remember it. Because
You know what I
that's a
mean?
good one. Because it's like the I forgot, and that's not how I remember it. Because I'm gonna
Right.
tell you, I've had them all. From I used to have meltdowns every time we'd have an argument. He would just like poke me and poke me, poke me. You know those type of people that just like to do shit just to piss you off, and
Right.
then when you get mad, they laugh at you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was him. I'm very passionate. Like when I'm talking about something that I'm really passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being interrupted. And
Mm-hmm.
so he used to do it all, and he knew that, and he would do it all the time. And I would be like, "Will you stop? Let me finish talking." And then it gets to
Mhm.
a point where I'm from here to like here when it comes to getting aggravated. And then he'll look at me like, "Well, gosh, I mean, I just asked a question. Don't get so. Are you so upset?" It's like, really? You just sat there and goaded me for 15 minutes, and you expect me not to be upset?
Right.
And then come at me the next day as if nothing happened.
Mhm.
Right. Now I'm gonna tell you, those the ones who that Nasser situation, right? Because they would do something to you today, right? And they'll call you tomorrow like nothing ever happened.
Happened.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
And I had that so many times.
Nothing ever happened.
Like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean, what's wrong with me? You hurt my feelings last night. Oh, that was last night. You get over it. Excuse me? That's a
And that,
that was a real conversation, by the way.
and that's
I
called
mean,
bipolar too now. That's a little bipolar too, a little bit in that too.
But
no,
see,
well,
When
they
they
see,
know
do
that.
something.
They
no.
know
See, here's
that
the thing.
you're being hurt, and like you said, they dragged you into their world. They know you're being hurt, but see, in order for them not to be hurt, that's how they have to react. Well,
And
Right.
that was
okay, I now that I know I hurt you, okay, let's move on because I'm not going to be the one that's getting hurt.
Right.
well,
One of
and
us
it's not
got to
even
be
that.
hurt, and it's you. Okay, you admitted it. You're hurt. Okay, then let's move on. They don't even have to think about it anymore.
Yep, and that's
So what you
exactly
do, not to cut you off, what you do with a person, every time you mention something that they doing, right? And they tell you, they get in their feelings, they disappear from you, and they holler about and they say you hurt them or what you say is wrong about them. What you say about that?
Well,
they
I
can't.
say that they're playing. They know what you're saying is true. So what they're gonna do is, well, you know what? Let me back off. Okay, continue doing what I'm doing because obviously this person cares enough about me to
Right,
say that I'm doing this and I'm doing that and waiting on a response. But you know what? Now
right,
that I know that he or she knows what's going on, let me back off. And then when I come back to talk to you, like nothing ever happened because now they got time to, okay, let's get myself together, give them a little bit of space or whatever. They know you care. They know you're gonna answer the
Right.
call. They know you're gonna answer the text. But they're gonna continue doing what they're gonna do because right now, I mean, with their mind, they've always been right, so they're never gonna stop doing what they were doing. That's never gonna
Right.
Right.
happen. But they
Right.
okay, narcissists. It's a word for it. They have a when they need supply. That's what it is. They need another supply.
Look at
So
the
when
supplies.
you're the supply that's caught on to what's going on, okay, I'm gonna put this supply on the shelf and play
And
with
start
this
growing
other supply
somebody
for a
else.
while.
Start
And when
growing
that
another.
other supply calm down, I'll go and talk to them and come
Yeah.
back with them.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
they,
You're right.
That's what
You're right
happened
about
with
that.
me with this situation. You know what I'm saying? I told you, Alex, there's been times that I tell you I don't hear from him for 2 and 3 months, and out of
Right.
nowhere text me, "Hey, how you doing? What?
Mm-hmm.
How are you?" Me being the person that I am, like I said, I give 150%. Where you been? Are you
Right.
okay? What's going on with you? They've been off
Right.
living their life,
ooh,
doing whatever they want to do. They were doing it while they were with me. I
Right.
and
just
you
didn't
sit
know
there
it.
waiting to come in.
And
Right.
they just they pop back up. Oh, okay. Well, this supply over here is running a little low. Let me go back to Miss Q. You know what I'm saying? I don't had enough time
Right.
in between for her to get well rested to deal with me again. So let me go back and grab
Right.
her off the shelf. Now
Right.
they're gonna snatch
Right.
you back in because they know you care. You're
Right.
not gonna ignore them,
Right.
and like they can ignore you because narcissists can ignore somebody. They got that on and off switch. They can turn it on and turn it off like it's a light switch.
Right.
Like they
I
never
like that.
even knew you.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
only that, once they come back into your life, talking to you, whatever, yeah, they want to come over and sleep with you, or whatever. Now they got you again. You're back
Right.
on their supply list.
Right.
And the moment that
Okay.
they find a new supply, you're back on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
They will
Mm-hmm.
deliberately do something to piss you off,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't have to deal with you right now
Mm-hmm.
because I got a new set of supplies over here. I want to see what's going on with this one.
Right.
And I had to learn that's what was really going on with me. Now I know from what my spirits were showing me that he do really care, but
Right.
he's a narcissist. It's almost impossible for him to say one person only. I'm with you, and this is how we're gonna make something of this because
Right.
their brains don't work like ours.
Right.
Oh no. It'll definitely work like mine anyway.
But and we have a lot of people that just like to be with multiple people.
Hmm.
And they just get up, they just get a kick out of that, just being with multiple people like all the time. You know what I mean? That just
Hmm.
something that just something they like doing.
Well, and the interesting thing is like a lot of people put more into those kind of relationships than they should. Because I mean, for the most part, that is like textbook dating. You are supposed to date, a lot of different people to know who you want to
But
go
not
with.
at the same time
I'm
though.
not saying I didn't say sleep with a bunch of people. I said
Hmm.
dating. It's different.
You
There's a
still date,
difference.
you still gonna end up
No,
sleeping with them if you dating them.
no, no. That's not how dating works. That is not how
Okay.
real dating. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. That is not how dating is supposed to work.
So how I
Hmm.
supposed to work in your book?
Dating is supposed to be where you are dating different people to get to know different personalities to know what you will settle for or what you will tolerate.
Right?
If you get to a point where you have talked to enough people in your life, you can pick off the riffraff like this because your discernment is honed to a point where, yes, they will project a certain energy. You wouldn't even have to talk to them.
Right.
And that is true dating. True dating is not sleeping with everybody that you're going out with. True dating is going to the movies, going to the museum, going to the park, going dinner, having dinner and talking and learning about each other. But
And telling
you don't
these
stick with
people
that,
that you are dating others, not
right?
letting,
And being
not
and being open and honest about your
yeah,
intentions. And that
and
is what
not
true dating.
letting these people think that they're the only person that you're seeing.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, hey, my buddy over here, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna play some cards. You wanna come join us? Oh no, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go hang out over there. Go do your thing. Oh, hey, you know what? My friend over here wants to come and join us. You want, and sometimes it can be like that. Or you guys go out, you guys go roller skating, you go boating or whatever. Oh, you got, well, can I see you tomorrow? It's like, well, no, actually, I'm going out with John. Who's John? Oh, this guy I just gonna hang out with. Really? Okay. And he has a choice. He could either get with the program or you can go somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be yourself. You're going to look at all these different people and say, okay, he's a nice guy, but he's a nice person, but he's a nice person. And you're going to do that. Yes, it's kind of weird, but people do evaluate because of the fact that this is the rest of your life you're talking about. And if you're going to be with somebody for the rest of your life, you got to do the work to make sure they're compatible.
Mhm.
But you know what? What's a lot. What's not going on? What's going on now? A lot of people don't like to water the grass.
Well,
They
and
don't
it's
like to
only
water the
like,
grass to let the grass grow. They'd rather
well,
just jump across the fence and see if that grass over there greener, but it's ain't number weeds.
well, that's the whole thing. You shouldn't worry about other people's grass. Is not your fucking grass.
But I'm just saying,
And the thing
when
is,
you I'm talking about,
and
I'm
that's
saying when
and
you're
that's where
involved with somebody. I'm saying when
and
you're
that's what
involved with somebody.
and that's what I'm
I'm going
saying.
back to what she's saying though. Like
No, but that's what I'm
they
talking
put you on
about.
the shelf. They put you on the shelf for whatever they want to be bothered with you, and then they come and get you back off. When that shit ain't work out with that person or whatever, they come and get you off the shelf. Okay, I'm finna play with him now. You
But
understand?
here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. They
I
jump across
understand.
the gate thinking the grass gonna be green over there, but it's really not.
Right. But see, here's the thing. If you gave them the impression that you were the only person, I mean that they were the only person that you're gonna be with, they're gonna treat you like that. Oh, she ain't going nowhere. Let me go on over here and do this. That's the point
Exactly.
of dating other people. You let them know this is what I'm doing. You could either get with the program or you can step the fuck off. Because guess what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I'm going to be happy when I get married again.
Mhm,
So that's the whole thing. Yeah, the only reason that she gets put on the shelf is because you let them do that. If
mhm,
you get put on the shelf, guess what? You're going to have to go find another house. You
mhm.
want to find another shelf to sit on. Or you could be the one putting them on the shelf saying, I'm sorry. I really like the way you do, when you smile and the dimples show up, but you spit when you chew. So I can't do that. You got to put in the work because
Mhm.
there are a lot of different things that people like and don't like about being in a relationship. Okay. But you can't find that out if you don't date enough people. And that is the biggest lesson I learned for dating a narcissist for 24 years. I
Shit.
shouldn't have gotten married at 23. I should
But
have dated more than 6 people.
listen what I'm saying. You saying date multiple people now. Now we dating, you dating multiple people, and all the motherfuckers you dating is local.
So
So what
you
you
ain't-
now
you're not,
now you don't added something else to the list now.
but you're not sleeping with them.
And listen, man, when you dating somebody, you gonna end up sleeping with that person.
No, no, that is a choice. You can sleep with them or not. But if you're doing true dating, you're not sleeping with any of them.
So you just
That's
going
the
out to
point.
eat and just talking and on the phone and all that.
Yep. Exactly. Because that's how you get to know somebody. That's how you get to know what habits you like, what the habits you don't like, the eye twitch that they do in the morning, or things like that. You cannot expect a relationship to last 20, 30, 40 years if you haven't done the work to get the sex.
Shit, if I gotta work,
Mhm.
if I gotta put in work and wait that long, I'm gonna get it and go.
Then
I ain't gonna
that
stay.
makes you that makes you a rapist, okay?
Ah, shit.
That
I'm
makes
gonna
you a
get
rapist.
it and go. Shit, I ain't finna be. What the hell is it? I'm waiting on some pussy. I ain't finna be doing that. Yeah, they
Guess
gonna get it
well,
and
guess
go.
but you know what though? There are 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody will like it the way you like it. Okay? There are 8 billion people. Let me say that loud for the people in the back. There are 8 billion people on this earth. He is not the one that's treating you wrong, the girl that's treating you wrong, the guy that's treating you wrong. They're not the only person on this planet.
Right?
Stop Stop accepting the abuse. That
Agreed,
Right.
is,
agreed.
thank you for coming to my TED Talk. No, but seriously, I mean, people only do to you what you let them do.
Right.
And if you let that go, yes, it's going to hurt like hell when you decide to cut it off. I ain't going to lie. I will tell you. I was
Sometimes it's
heartbroken.
sometimes.
I
Sometimes you can
was,
be already preparing your heart to be able to walk away, and it won't bother you at all.
yeah, some people,
Seriously,
well,
sometimes you could.
thankfully, somebody can do that. Some people can do that.
Yeah, you can
I
start
will tell
molding your
you, for
heart.
me, I was so brokenhearted. I listened to nothing but hip hop and trap music for 3 years.
Hmm.
3 years. I did not listen to any country. I didn't listen to any jazz. I absolutely love jazz. Okay, so
Right.
I didn't listen to any love songs. I didn't listen to R&B. I didn't listen to country. I didn't listen to reggae. I didn't listen to none of it. Well, I just did some reggae, but it was nothing but rap and trap. Old school, new school rap, trap, mumble rap, whatever you want to call it. That's
Hmm.
all it's for 3 freaking years. 3 years. So if I hadn't gotten married as early as I did, I probably would have learned about that guy that left me a lot sooner to be able to recover and have, happily ever after later. Now I'm 54 years old. I'm probably just going to have to marry a corpse. A corpse with a lot of money, though. Because me and my sister was laughing one day. She said, "Yeah, we married for love the first time. Now we got to marry for money."
But you know what? We are the only, I say generation wise, people who marry for love. Back in
Nowadays,
the
yeah.
day, yeah, centuries ago, I mean, they saw it on TV and movies. Nobody ever back then in 100 BC, 300 BC married for love. What the hell was
Well,
love? They married
well, see
because
what.
you can take care of me. How many shillings you got? You got some goats and sheeps and cows to trade for me to my family, proving that you
Right?
can take care of me.
Hmm.
We're
Oh
the
yeah,
only
and I
generation in the past 100 years that marry off of emotions.
Hmm.
Nobody. Look at
well until
well the story of
Gen Z came in.
Adam and Eve. Adam was here first, derived from the earth. God pulled a rib, made Eve. Bam, they're together. Where was the love? I'm being real, but where was the love?
I
And they
know, but I
weren't
just
married.
want,
And they
I
weren't
just,
married either.
Where
I
did
just
God
like the
say
way,
you?
I just like how
Where
you
did
put
God
that.
say, Adam, you shall love this woman, and Eve, you shall love this man? He didn't. He put them two together. Y'all make some babies and keep it moving.
And they ain't say nothing about marriage either. Y'all ain't get
Nope.
married either.
Adam had a garden. Adam had fruit. He had everything for him to have a wife, to keep her happy, to keep her fed, to keep her healthy. There was no love involved. At least what the Bible says. There was
Oh
never
yeah,
any love
I don't
involved.
remember it
We're
being.
the only
I don't
one in the
remember it.
past 100 years that want to do this. Oh, but I love him. Oh, I'm in love with her. I want to marry her. Y'all
Hmm.
ain't got two pots to piss in and throw it out the window. But y'all marrying
Well,
for
see,
love. And we
and you know
gonna
what?
make it. We can
And
make
that's
it
and that's
together.
and that's the other thing about dating more than one. Dating more than one person. You get to actually find out what philosophies they have on these different things, like going, children and school and
Hmm.
finances, and I noticed that one of the things that I've observed, and kind of one of the reasons why I went back to school, is that a lot of people who have been through hell and high water as friends, like college students, for example,
Hmm.
hell and high water, they have a tendency to have like really long lasting relationships because they've had that shared experience of going through hell and high water. So you can't really do that with just a single person unless of course y'all have like a whole bunch of shit in common, and how rare is that you know
Hmm.
so that's why you have to go and deal with all these different people. Like for example, if I were to date Hook right now, I would say, okay, I'm dating you. I know that you like your podcast, so I'm not gonna mess with you on your podcast. And then so let me go and date this guy because he oh don't you start. uh, but he's got a radio show. So we have all these things in common, right? I can be dating him. I can be going out and talking to him, and I can be going out and talking to him. At this point, that's how I would figure out which one I would prefer, you know,
Hmm.
because you are learning about the things that you like. And if that person is going to be the one to give you the things that you like, then you're going to have a tendency to stick with them. But you
So
got to know. But you got to know that.
so
You
so
got to
so
know that somebody's treating you right.
so what if both of them giving it what you like? What you gonna do then?
Oh no, there's always something that's going to rule one over
No,
the other. I'm telling
you
you.
gotta be realistic now. Now
No,
what
I'm
if both
serious.
of them
I'm
giving you
serious.
what you like?
But that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be. See, that's the whole thing. There's always going to be something different. No matter who it is, what it's going to be something different, and it's going to tell you. It could be the smallest thing. Like y'all could be both giving great to me, and I'm like, oh yes, I love the candy, I love the flowers, I love the jewelry, but you don't know my favorite color, do you? It could be something. Believe it or not, everybody has a preference. It could be something as petty as that. Now, me personally, no, but I've heard of people being that petty about being in a relationship. They don't want somebody that chews loud. They don't like people who let their food touch on their plates. I mean, there's a really, really specific stuff that people
Listen,
just do
I had
not
a
like about
friend
other people.
that too in Lao. I had a friend. She was like, she ended up breaking off with the guy, but she could not stand him licking his fingers. You know how you get barbecue sauce? She was like,
Yes.
okay, it might be fine to do it at home, we by ourselves, but she said this dude would literally do that in every restaurant. He picks up his
Yep.
meat, he's got barbecue sauce on him in public. She was like,
Yep.
oh
See?
no, I can't deal with that. She was
Exactly.
like, I
Now
can't.
just
And
imagine. Now just imagine if he was giving it to her just all nice and good, and she was loving it, and she was ready to marry this guy until she saw that.
it, it,
Was she
it, was,
really
it
thinking
was part
about?
of the deal break.
Yep, exactly. The deal breakers are very. So when you say hook, what if they're both giving to me right? There's always a deal breaker.
There's always something in there that's just like, no,
Always
I'm
a deal
not.
breaker.
I can't do that. I can't stand
Probably,
that. That's a pet peeve.
probably not for guys though, but I know women do because I can only speak for women or when women presenting people. Um, yeah, I think we women probably are a little like picky about things like that. I don't know about guys though. I can't speak for the guys. What do you think, Hook? You think that'd be
Man,
something a deal breaker like that? That
it,
petty?
I'm just saying it goes that way for men's too, but you may the one at home maybe you it may be good to you, then the one on the outside may even be gooder. So you gonna still want both of them. You gonna want
Oh
the best of
well,
both worlds.
right. Well, see, and
Then
that's
if
that's
that's the
that's the
case,
whole thing about not sleeping with them.
you shouldn't be
That's what.
in a serious relationship with somebody.
Well, that's what I said. That's why you don't sleep with them because
Because
you need to
if you
find out
want the
what kind
best
of
of both
behavior they're gonna
worlds,
have towards
yeah, you got to figure out which one you want. At some point
you.
in time, it's going to come to a head where you know what, I need to choose, and you know, be with the pros and your cons list, and say, you know what, this one is better at that, this one is better than that, but at some point you're gonna have to be like, one of them got to go, because
Yeah, the thing is,
nobody can keep
Maybe
that
the,
up
maybe
forever.
maybe the hard headed one gotta go. The hard headed one gotta go.
hey, like I said, everybody has preference. I mean, what
Hmm.
really the reason I actually had come across that idea of knowing what you want going into dating is when me and that last guy broke up, the one that left me,
Mhm.
about 2 3 months later, I decided I was going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go and see if I can find somebody to hang out with. Because you get tired of talking to children all day. My kids.
Right.
Okay. So I decided to join a dating site. I don't remember which one it was though, but it was one of those paid sites. So I did do it. And one of the things they ask you is, what are you looking for in a mate? And I sat at the computer looking at the keyboard going, um, um, I really seriously had to think about it. And of course, you got to remember at that point, I had only seriously dated two people for the 20 years because it was my ex-boyfriend before I met my ex-husband, then my ex-husband, and then the same guy I met before my ex-husband the second time.
Right.
So I only had two long term. Seriously, I mean, it wasn't even long term. But I only had two long relationships at that time. So I'm like, okay, I have no idea. I actually literally had no clue because I didn't date enough people. I knew what I liked out of the guys I did date. Okay, my ex-husband and my ex-boyfriend were they were actually identical, except my ex-boyfriend was Haitian, so he liked soccer, and my ex-husband is from New Jersey, liked football.
Mhm.
Other than that, and my ex-boyfriend was more like affectionate towards me because we're both Capricorns. Um, but other than that, these two were exactly alike. So I knew, okay, they had to be mechanics because I know mechanics. They had to be strong, which they were both strong. One was taller than the other. I was an inch shorter than my ex-boyfriend and about 3 inches shorter than my ex-husband. So, I mean, there was just those things I had to start with
Mhm.
because that's all I knew up until
Right.
that point. You're talking about from the time I turned, I was 23 when I got married. I got divorced at 47. So to be with one, well, literally two people
Right.
that long,
Right.
how the heck am I supposed to know what, like, and they both didn't work out. So
Right.
now I'm like, okay, I can't use those two guys as a benchmark because they failed. So,
But not to cut
well,
you off, not to cut you off. Did you ever heard of like the movie Ghost, right? You ever heard of when they sit there at that thing and they spinning that thing and they just taking the clay and the molding, they just molding the vase and molding it how they want it,
yeah, I remember the part
right?
of the movie. Yeah.
What happened to molding the person that you want to be with to your liking?
Um, that is a freight train to hell, if you ask me. Because again, it's a choice. They have choices in their lives.
Yeah, they do,
Now I
but you
will tell
still can
you,
mold them.
But like
no,
I said earlier,
you
now you're
mold
trying
them
to
by
change the person. You're
right.
trying
But
to
see,
change that person into what you want them to be.
the
In
only thing you can
love and
do,
in a relationship, you're supposed to accept that person for who they are. You know,
That's
they
what I'm saying.
flaws and all. It's
Yeah,
not
you can
supposed
accept
to
them
be
for
a
what you.
molding phase. Now, if you
to a
want them
certain
to
degree,
understand some things that what you like, you want to understand what they like. Okay, now y'all have to compromise.
wait.
But to
Hmm.
mold someone into your liking, you're just asking for trouble. Because one
Actually,
day
you
that mold gonna break.
well,
Hmm.
and you know what though? Here's the thing: why try to mold them when there's somebody out there that might be what you
Be
need?
exactly what you want.
They
Yeah.
may
But
already fit the
okay,
mold. That may
but
already
listen,
fit the
listen,
mold. You don't have
listen.
to go through all that work.
Hold on now. But that goes back to what you're saying, right? They may not be mold. They may because they're gonna be some people out there. You're gonna have to mold them to your liking. Because something you may not like about them, and you may like the person, but you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try to mold this person. You
No,
can
no,
mold.
no, no,
Listen, you can
no.
mold a
You go
person.
find somebody
Listen,
else,
listen. You can mold a woman without her knowing you even molded her.
or you can go find somebody else and
You
not
can
have to do
mold
all
a
that work.
woman. You can mold a woman without her knowing you molded her,
But like
8
I said,
billion people.
eventually
and
that
then she gonna
mold is
be
going
a
to
okay,
it's
just how you wanted to be.
eventually it's going to break because remember, when you're molding somebody, like you said, they were sitting there molding this vase together. It's made out of clay. It turns in. They have to firestone it to make it hard. If it
Right,
falls off the shelf, it's gonna break.
right,
That mold is no longer there. It's gonna go. So, like she said, find you somebody who's actually what you looking for, because
right.
Yeah,
eventually
eight
that
billion
base
people.
that thing that you made, oh, it's gonna break, and it's gonna all hell gonna break loose
And
because that
and you
Okay,
know who's
person
gonna
is
break
not
it?
being
okay,
themselves.
okay.
And you
But
know
check
who's gonna
this.
break
Check
it?
this
Children
now.
are gonna break that.
Okay, but check this. But a woman could fix a man up. You know, you got some women that like to fix mans up now.
Oh yeah, they're out there.
Who like to bring them fix a woman, a man or whatever. You got men like to fix a woman. You got a woman like to fix man. So
Mhm.
what you think that is? That's still molding.
Well, see, and the thing is that
You
that's
still moaning the
I'm
person.
not saying that
that's
it's
the thing
not, but I'm
too.
saying it's just not a good idea. I
It's not a
mean,
good idea.
it's just not a good idea because eventually that person is going to want to break out and be who they want to be and not what you molded them to be.
But they still being themselves though. You ain't taking that from them. You ain't take.
Well, and that's the
See, that's what
thing.
I'm trying to tell you. You can mold a woman without her being. She can still be herself.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the best way to actually do that is to make sure that you're modeling what you would prefer them to do. I mean, basically, it's do unto others as you want them to do to you.
That's what I'm saying. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And
That's the
a
first.
lot of people, for a lot of women's, and they go for men's too, forget that.
Oh
And
yeah,
some women they'll treat you certain ways, and then when you start treating them the way they treat you, they thinking you doing something wrong.
yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
And you're not wrong.
And
It's
sometimes you got to treat the people that you got to treat them that like that. That's the only way you get their attention.
yep. I tell everybody, I say, if you come at me twisted, I'm coming back at you crooked.
So it's a whole lot of it's a lot of trick and weaving and stuff with this so called thing with relationship.
Yeah, and that's why you have to date enough people so that when you start talking to other people,
Not
you can
really,
rule out the riffraff easy. That's called
not really.
discernment. It's actually using your experience of other people plus your own spiritual energy, because like you said, you can rule people out just by standing near them because you
But
can feel
not
their energy.
nowadays. Women's that you meet nowadays, they ain't trying to date you just to get to date you. They want to see if you got a big dick. You know how to have sex, right? If you ain't got that, they get rid of your
you,
ass. You get
hey,
what I'm
but you know
saying?
what? Some
So
fellas, hey, some
that's
fellas
number
out there they
one.
doing that too.
So you think a
Well,
woman gonna wait a while?
I
Say,
think
damn,
that comes from if the woman doesn't really need anything else from you. If
right,
she's got a great job or a great career, she owns her own business, she got her own
She's a
money or
boss
whatever,
bitch.
maybe that's the only thing she needs from you. Now it's up
right.
to you whether that's the only thing you're gonna supply to her.
That
If
part.
you looking for
So
more
that's
than that
that's
and
if
you
she,
know
that's
that's
if
all
the
she looking for, then you need to let her go.
listen. That's only if y'all got that understanding. Cause
What do you mean?
you got some women say, listen, baby, I got everything I need. I know you got everything you need. All I need you is when I need you to come and tune up. That's it. That's all they want. They don't
Well,
want no
yeah.
more. When y'all got the understanding like that, then that's how it gonna be.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have that conversation in the very beginning, absolutely.
Hmm.
But if you're looking for more than
Yeah.
that, if you're looking for love, you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for like a lifelong partner, you might want to be a little more discernible.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to figure out what you want. I mean, like almost to the letter. Like, oh my gosh, he has to have big hands. He has to have at least a size 11 shoe. He has to be maybe between 5'9" and 6'1". Okay, they can be short also, but they got to stick out at least 9 inches, maybe 10 inches. I don't know. You got to have, believe it or not, and a lot of people think it's really really shallow, but it's your preference. If that's what you want, then you got to go for what you want. If you want somebody that knows how to ride bicycles because you're a really good bicycle fan, then guess what? You might want to enter some cycling contests. If you love doing laundry, hang out with the laundromat. I'm pretty sure you'll find somebody who loves doing laundry there, or they will
Right,
hand it to you so you can do it.
right.
But you got to go. You got to be able to know what you want, and you really can't
And you
decide
know
that
what?
until
How
you
to
feel
how to
all
get to that
reality.
is to, he said in his word, write it down and make it plain. And let me tell you, I witnessed this through a friend of mine, Alex, Carol, her sister.
Right,
Her
right,
sister is no longer here, rest her soul.
Oh,
But her sister came to me and said, she was one that always had love problems. Her relationships never went well, this, that, and the other. And she said another lady had told her about this. So she said, okay, well, what do I got to lose? My relationships go south anyway. So, I'm going to just try it and see what happens. So what
right,
she did, the lady told her, listen, you need to write a letter to God explaining them when I say every little thing that you want in a man: height, weight, nice teeth, what type of job or career, or do you want him to have his own business? You
Right.
want him to have, already, she was already past the childbearing age. Her children were already grown. She was a grandmother already, so she didn't want a man who wanted kids. So she made that she wrote that on the paper. She said she came up with, it was about 100 and something things.
Wow.
And she said she put it in the Bible. She said she didn't have no particular place,
You just
but
went,
she put it in the
man.
Bible. And 1 year, almost 1 year to that date, she met that man.
Wow.
Everything on that list was there except his height. That was the only thing that this person didn't have. She's a pretty tall woman, and she wanted
Mhm.
someone to either match her height or just a little bit taller than her. But this
Right.
guy
Okay.
was right under her. And
Okay.
but all the other 100 and something things was exactly what she wanted. He tried to get me to that's something that you got to really focus on. You got to really go to God at a time when you're in a good space to say this is what I want. But it worked for her. It worked for the lady that told her about it. And I'm just saying to you, you know, that could be something that you could utilize, or we all could utilize, and say, God did say, write it down and make it plain to him,
Yeah.
and he'll bring it to you. And I'm a witness. I seen it happen. This guy had he was retired corrections, so he was already getting serious money. He he had an older daughter that he was helping out while she was like in her last years of college, 5 6 years or something big she was going to be. He not only paid her rent, he paid all of her bills, helped her buy a brand new car, helped her bring up her credit score. Not only that, he would come. This woman worked in a Pompano Beach jail. He would come all the way from North Miami. She worked night shift to pick her up 7 o'clock in the morning to drive her home because he didn't want her driving
Wow.
tired. She wanted a man to
Wow.
cater to her because she had been in so many relationships where she had been just treated so many different ways, like she wasn't nothing, including her children's father. And she was like, I
Wow.
really want a man who if I'm tired, he pick it up. And she wrote all of those things down. And when this happened, she said she ran to her Bible when she met this man, which she knew 20 something years ago. They went to high school together. She happened to run into him at the grocery store.
Wow.
And when I say he did everything, when she passed away, she didn't even know that he had went and bought her a brand new truck.
Oh, wow.
He was already looking at houses to her liking. Everything that she asked for was in that letter. Now, I intend on doing this, but I know that I'm not in that space right now to say, God, this is what I want, because I'm still trying to get out of what I was in.
Yeah.
She had come to that space to where, you know what? I'm done with all of that. My feelings are over with. Whatever all the relations I have no feelings for anyone. So God, this is what I want. And when I say I was astounded, her daughter was astounded. She was like, she gave the daughter the letters that she wrote, and she was like, "This man is everything that you wrote down almost a year ago." And I was like, hmm.
Pretty good.
So you got to go for what, like she said, there's other people out there exactly what you want. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's out there.
8 billion people.
You just gotta focus on it, and you gotta meditate on it and be true to your heart as to what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yep.
if you want a scut
Yep.
bucket and a slut or whatever, tell God that's what you want, because that's what He gonna send you. But you got to be real about it.
Hey,
She was
keep it
Hey,
real.
really real about it. She said the lady told her, you know what I'm saying, I'm not telling you to do it right away. You got to take time to yourself and make sure you're ready. Because when you write it down and
right.
you make it plain to the Lord, He gonna bring it to you. But you got to be seriously
Yep.
ready, because that's gonna be the person for you.
Right.
And like I said,
Yep.
I'm gonna try it. But like I said, I got some more things to clear out and clear up. because I've seen it work. And it's
Yeah.
just that, like she said,
Right.
it's that person is out there for you. It's what you want. It's somebody there exactly what you want. But
Yeah.
we
Right.
get so caught up in this world. Oh, let's see this person. Let's see that person. You get feelings. We don't go to God first
Right.
about a relationship because I know I damn sure didn't. If I had, I'd be
Same.
married right now in a
Same.
nice house, doing what I want to do. But you go off of your human instincts. Wow, she's attractive, or he's attractive, and you know what I'm saying. Oh, I really like the way he do this, and oh, he's got a great job.
Mhm.
Something that's for me, that you think is for you. Like the word say, his ways is not our ways. But when you
Mhm.
clear your mind and your heart of all of that stress and everything that's go out, he gonna put it on your heart and he gonna say, tell me exactly what's on your heart and what you want, and I'm gonna give it to you. And I was so her whole family was so upset when she passed away because at that time she finally got exactly what she wanted.
Well, she was happy when she
Unfortunately, she
passed.
passed away because of um, spiritual warfare,
Well,
and
yikes.
she had some other issues going on with her oldest son, and
Mhm.
some things were done to her, and it took her life.
Cascaded from there. Yeah, cascaded from there.
But I'm a firm believer. I mean, I've seen it happen. And she was like, I never went to God before and asked him for what I wanted. Because she got
Yeah.
tired and she was fed up dealing with no good men. And she was just like, she had just turned 60. And she was like, I really want to live my life with somebody who wants to live with me. Just who I am, what
Yeah.
I am, and where I work at. And they don't mind me putting on, I got 5, 6 wigs for the week. He know I'm going to change my hair. He wake up a blonde, next thing tomorrow I'm a brunette. He didn't care about that. And that's what, see,
Yeah.
she had that on there too. Because,
She wrote that on
her
the
real hair
list.
was natural and gray. But she's one of those women, she like to change her wig every 2 days. She liked different
Hey.
hairstyles. And she wanted
Yeah.
a man who would accept her like that. She never had anybody accept her like that.
Hmm.
So
That's-
it's possible. It is possible that somebody is out there just exactly what you want. But we have to let go all of that negativity and everything. We just have to be fed up and say, you know what, God, I'm going to let you handle this one. I'm going to tell you what I
Yeah.
want. And what you feel that I don't need out of this list, don't give it to me. But he gave her everything except that one thing, which was height. And,
And of course,
she's
it became
pretty, she
super,
was pretty tall.
something like, yeah. And it was
So
probably
it's
definitely
possible.
not a deal
We
breaker.
just got to be in a good space for it.
Right.
Right. Right. I have a I follow a creator called Seasoned Dialogue on um on Instagram. And if you follow her on Instagram, she has a lot of great dialogue with regards to relationships.
Right.
Um and in life, really. There was one in particular that I like where she starts out saying anything that's meant for me will come to me, anything that's meant for you to come to you. Anything that was meant for me, it's going to come to me easily. Anything that's not meant for me will come waywardly. And just I actually have that video. I was saved it on my phone because I have to go back and look at it every once in a while just to make sure that my brain stays in that. Okay, if it's for me, it's going to come to me. So.
Right.
Oh, 6:50.
Right.
So I can show that video if y'all want to see it because she actually does really. I mean, I love her voice also. So there's
Mm.
that. Yeah, I'll snag it.
Um, but see, with those statements there, like I said, your head has to be completely clear. And like you said, no matter what, it's going to come to you. But you have to always remember, too, that we not fight against human and flesh. We fight against demons and other spirits. So you got to
Yeah,
be clean minded. You got everything has to be behind you in order for that not to work. But when people start to block your paths and stuff like that, that means you're not rid of whatever is going on. You got to get rid of that stuff first. in order for everything that you truly want to come to you. And that's what I said. She was in that mind frame. Everything that she had dealt with
Right.
negative, she let it go. And she believed that, hey, that's what you said, God. Write it down and make it plain. So I believe you. I'm through with all that negativity. I'm through with all these bad relationships. I don't have no hate in my heart for nobody. I just want love. And it came to her.
Yeah, that's always good. That is so, so good.
Right. But like I was saying, like we all, we get a person, we fall in love with them, and it just goes. I mean, just goes down the hill. But we don't know, But the love take over our thoughts and our heart and our mind and stuff like that. That we can't think for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we too focused on this
Mhm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
So
But are we focusing on the right person? I mean, I like I said, I admitted it
we
earlier.
won't
I've
know.
never
We
gone
won't
to
know.
God about a
We won't know.
relationship. Not before. I've gone to him during the relationship, and I've gone to him at the end of the
Hmm.
relationship, but I've never at the beginning said, God, this is what I need and this is what I want. Bring it to me. I've never done that. I've always pleaded with him when shit went wrong or it went bad. Now I come to God.
Right.
That's where the
Right.
downfall comes into.
You ready?
Right.
Okay, y'all ready?
Right.
Okay, so this is season. She's at season dot dialogue,
Hmm.
and here you go.
Anything meant for me will come to
Can
me,
y'all
and
hear that?
anything meant for you will come to you. Anything not received can never be missed, and anything that comes in confusion is not resolution. Anything deemed mine will be placed before me, and
Can you hear
anything
that?
iffy will come waywardly. Anything that has permanency will have good foundation, and anything temporary can easily be removed. The things meant for you will come in the time allowed based on the conditions that support how everything comes together. If you force it, it will not go. Allow things to curate in its own way. I want a balanced type of receiving, one where there's no question of the ownership and the longevity of mine, where I know the foundation is truly solid and I'm not feeling unsure about the place I stand. There will be no room for confusion or my idle mind and indecision. What is meant for me will always arrive in clarity, and everything beyond that point will flow effortlessly for me to enjoy and nurture. Anything meant for me will come to me. Anything meant for you will come for you. You cannot miss what you never had, and you cannot want what you are not openly prepared for. Take it easy, my love. I promise it will come.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear that.
Yes.
Hmm.
I hear that.
Yes.
I hear
That
that.
that is. And I was like,
I hear
and
that.
like I said, I play every once in a while just to remind myself that yeah, you know, things don't have to be that hard. Things aren't that hard. Just
I wanna I wanna share something with this right here, right here. This what I listen to this.
ooh,
People can love you so much that it turns into hate. Like, and I know my chosen ones can identify with this. Like, our energy is so obsessive because it's so authentic and it's so real and it's so raw that people will be so obsessed with being around us and in our energy, but deep down inside, they fucking despise us. Because being in our energy forces them to look at themselves in the mirror and forces them to see themselves in area where they might not want to look. So it's like people will be so obsessed with you, but they hate your fucking guts at the same time. Like they're literally in the back of their mind hoping that whatever you got going on sells. They wishing towers on you. But they're still addicted to being around your energy. It's the weirdest fucking shit. Let me know if I'm tripping. But I feel like people will be.
So what you think about that?
haters gonna hate. That's all I can say.
When I say to that again, we fight against demons and spirits that are unknown to us. If somebody has the nerve to be your friend and your enemy at the same time, they fighting themselves. Not only are they fighting themselves,
Oh, yeah.
they might not even be themselves. There's something else within them because truth and lie can't live in the same house. faith and unfaith can't live in the same house. So if you see that in a
Right.
person, you might need to check yourself out. Get out of that
Exactly.
situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I mean, if it burns that they desire to hate you that much inside, but smile in your face, that person might be the death of you. You don't know what's causing that. It could be a evil spirit, could be a demon or whatever. Just not feeling your energy. I mean, if I had somebody like that and I know they smiling in my face, I'm out.
Right.
And usually, like I said, if you've dealt with enough people, you usually be able to feel that before they even get that close.
Hmm.
Sometimes
Well, I mean, like I
it's gonna
said,
take a
love.
little minute. Sometimes it'll take a little minute before you
Well, I
feel
was
it,
going to say, love is blind, deaf, and dumb.
because the mask will be on. And once the mask come off, then you can be able
But
to
your
feel it,
spirit
and
will show you. Your spirit
you'll
will
feel
show
it.
you. This person ain't
Yeah.
good for you.
Sometimes they put the
Now,
mask on.
whether you choose to listen to it or not, it's up to you. But they're gonna show you.
Right.
That's it.
If it's like anything that I need to know. I can always go and ask them to show me. Bring it to the front.
Mm-hmm.
To the front, and they will. You know what I mean? And I really lately I didn't have to I ain't had to do that. They showed me that automatically. They tell me that, and they show me. I see it in my dream, or they'll when I go into a days, they'll
Yeah.
show me.
Yeah.
They'll take me there and show me. You know what I mean? So I just learned how to obey them more.
Follow your gut.
I'm learning to obey my spirits more because they gonna make sure see you through everything that you go through. And when you obey them and you listen to them, you will never go wrong in a
Yep.
relationship.
Exactly. That's what I say.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that you got to always obey your spirits, and you got to listen to them when they talk to you, because when they talk, they tell you some real stuff that you need to understand.
That's what I always say. Follow your heart, but trust your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your heart. Follow your
Right.
heart, but pay attention to your gut.
And then when we don't pay attention to the gut,
Yeah.
that's when we gonna go through the storm. And then when we go through the storm, we're like, damn, my spirit told me this, but I didn't
Agreed.
Yeah.
listen.
Agreed.
Or even
You understand what
or
I'm
in my
saying?
case is usually I'll look back hindsight and go, oh, I was supposed to do this then.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Right.
it's always for me. It's always been hindsight. I mean, I've gotten better at trusting my gut because being with a narcissist for 24 years, you start losing trust in yourself and the decisions that you make in your life. So it took me a while to
Right.
recover from that and to really to say, oh, okay, my gut did tell me that, and I'm doing that, and so now it's working out. So yeah, it took me a long time to trust myself to do that,
Right. Right.
but now you can't tell me shit.
I feel you. I understand. So, Miss Q, what you think you like about the day's podcast?
I liked everything about it. The conversation was good. The podcast was good. The subject was good. You know what I'm saying? You, I
Uh
learned
huh.
something. And that
Right.
that I probably should have already known. But like I said, we all still in the learning phase. We're gonna be learning until we die.
Well, that's what I tell
Right.
you. Don't never kick yourself for not knowing. Only
Hmm.
kick yourself if you find out and you don't learn from it.
Yes.
Right.
We can only do the best we can with the knowledge we have right now.
Hmm.
No, I say, don't fight your spirit, because your spirit is telling you, putting it in front of you. Don't fight the spirit. Listen to the spirit.
I wish I had
You understand what I'm
before. I
saying?
That's
really
it.
do.
That's it. Yeah, but you know what though? It's okay because now that you have this knowledge, now that you have the understanding, you can go forward from here.
Right.
Knowledge plus
Right.
understanding equals wisdom.
Hmm.
Right.
So
Right.
forward momentum
Ready?
always. And then you
Right.
can always text him. He'll give you all the man advice you need.
Yeah, I try to tell it like it
Hey,
is,
that's
but I can't say too much.
it.
I
not,
can't give too
not
much
not without
advice.
getting not without going to Facebook jail anyway. What is that? TikTok
Shit.
doesn't take
They
Facebook down.
put me in there for a minute. They finally let me out of there.
Oh wow.
So I gotta do shit by the book now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I've been good though. Since I've been going to school, I haven't been to Facebook jail in a while now.
Hmm.
I did like I did like 3 30 days. I did three
Mm-hmm.
30 day stints in a year. So yeah. I'm not a good Facebook person. Well, I am, but not really.
Right. Right.
And one of the ones that I got hit by was actually just a waterfall, but it was just the insinuation of what it was is what I got in trouble for. But
And yeah, I've never
Right.
been in TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram jail, so I couldn't even know. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I'm like, well, what could you possibly have said or done for them to, suspend your account or whatever the case may be?
you know what? 9 times out of 10, it's not even them. It's somebody else that reported you.
Mm.
Yep. It's
But before they
somebody
take
got
you
their
off,
feelings
they don't
hurt.
investigate it, or they just take
No,
you off and investigate while
they
you're
just
off.
they take you off, and then they let you know why, and then you have a choice. You can either accept it or you can fight it. You can appeal it,
Right.
but they don't say, "Hey, this is what this person said to you," because all of them are anonymous. So
Mm.
you never get to confront. You never get to confront who did it.
So some
You
haters.
just, oh, absolutely. Like I said, haters gonna hate. Even haters are fans. At least that's what the Cowboys always say.
Right.
Wow.
But yes, finding your life partner should not
Right.
take your entire life.
Right.
Agree.
But if it does, there's nothing wrong with that because it's only too late when you're dead.
Right. Right.
It's only too late when you're dead.
So
8 billion people.
I already, like every time I get on the podcast, it's like it's like therapy for me. So it's like it helped me in a way,
Oh,
and
yep.
go through certain things and stuff like that. But like when you're going through certain things and stuff like that, like it ease it up for you. You know what I mean? It changed the outlook of everything. That's why I was saying, like, you might have a lot of people that's on here that listen, and they could be going through something, and they could be thinking something totally dramatic to do, but then they so happen here when we talk about it, they see it in a different view.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I like, it been good for me. You know what I mean? Like, talking to like people, giving people bits and pieces of what's really be going on, and in life and stuff like that, and then people agreeing to what it is because they know it's the truth. You know what I mean? So I like to continue to do
Well, that's
that.
why hey, that's why I actually agreed to do this, and some of the posts that I put on Facebook is that there's somebody out there that it might be going through something that I'm going through, and they will feel a lot better knowing that they're not alone.
Hmm.
Right.
Especially when it comes to relationships, because oh my gosh, I can tell you all some
Right.
stories.
Yeah, we all been through
You
it.
know, and
We
and
all
the
been through it.
interesting thing is that it does not matter what generation you're in. We all go through the same exact things. It may be in different stages, might even be different stages of life. But like for example, I tell everybody that I'm reliving my 30s because when I was married, it was the rest of my 20s, all of my 30s, and 2/3 of my 40s that I was married.
Right.
So now I'm
Right.
going back through the stages of not having kids, going to school, having children. Well, actually backwards, really, because we had all
Right.
the toys before we had kids. Then we had the
Right.
kids. Then we got divorced. Now I'm by myself dating, and now I'm going to school.
Right.
So I'm actually
Mm.
going
Right.
backwards. I'm going backwards, forwards. It's kind of weird,
Right.
but like I said,
Right.
it's only too late when you're dead.
I feel you. I understand that.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna find somebody. Like I said, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody's gonna be able to tolerate you.
Mhm.
I gotta
Yeah.
run them under the bus at least once a session, but once a podcast. Hey, that's kind of revenge for like a couple of weeks ago. So
Crazy.
I guess we ready to wrap up.
Yep.
Cool.
And I like to appreciate
Thank
you,
you
Miss
for
Q, for
coming
coming on
on. It
here and
was
shedding some light,
No
really,
problem.
really
shed some
Can
light
I
on this
can I plug
podcast.
my little spiritual consultation?
cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, you could.
Okay. So if you're in or if you're ready to have a spiritual consultation reading, you can contact
Hmm.
me at 305-746-2785. I do spiritual consultations and spiritual healings. It can be by phone, in person, video, what have you. You can go to my website, which is Mother Yemi at GoDaddy.sites and book a consultation with me, or you can call me directly again at 305-746-2785.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right. Okay.
Y'all get to come and see Miss Q.
Yes, I'm the
Whenever.
real deal. This ain't for entertainment purposes. Alice can attest to that. This ain't no
Yeah, she
oh,
she the real deal.
I see in the crystal ball
She the
crap.
real deal.
I'm not. That's not me. I'm the real
No.
deal.
Yeah. Awesome. 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 Well,
Okay.
thank you all tonight. Thank you for watching our big little podcast.
Mhm.
Be yourself, keep it real,
Right.
because that's what we do.
Right.
We have our guest here, Miss
Right.
Q. Thank you so much for,
Q.
for coming on with us.
Share some love. Spread some
Yes,
love
we
over
Yeah,
have
there.
the hook right over there.
I will.
The man in
Right.
charge,
So
real living
so
the queen.
Miss Q, like always, I'm always asking you to close us out with a good prayer, a spiritual
It
prayer.
has to be me again. All right.
Yeah.
Father God, we thank you for this night that we are able to speak from our hearts, speak to you, and speak to others who may have needed our help, our words, or our wisdom tonight. And we thank you for giving us the courage to speak this way. In your name, in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we pray that everyone who participated tonight, including those online who are listening, have a very blessed night, and that we look
Hmm.
forward and understand that you are the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, and nothing is impossible without you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Amen. Thank you. I thank everybody there for coming on today and chime in today. We talking about what we need to talk about. So we got that out the way.
Good
So everybody have a good night
Good
tonight.
night.
night.
Thank you.
Y'all have a
Okay.